Hey guys,
What's up,
this is
Damien?
Julie and welcome to
Light
my
day,
SOFHAB
Jason?
review
Getting
series.
warmed up.
This time,
Actually,
I'll be covering the
98.
Webtoon turned graphic novel series, Batman
Nine.
Wayne Family Adventures, and joining me is Rascal Entertainment.
Hello.
Now this series was originally a Webtoon from DC Comics that ended up becoming very popular with Batman fans. And when we saw a couple of episodes, we loved it. Now it centers around mostly the Batman family having semi-slice-of-life stories and calmer adventures during their crime-fighting nights, and it's an actually wholesome take that really, really works. But
Before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on upcoming reviews, hacks, videos, and more.
yes, we want to tell you a little quick background on this. This actually was an all-female creation.
Wow, okay, actually
The
didn't know
author
that.
was C.R.C. Payne, and they were drawn by 7 artists: StarBite, Maria Lee, Lan Ma, Suzi Blake, Jean Kim, and Rachel Koo. I think I said 7, but it's 6. So this is an all-female work,
Right.
and we were very surprised to find that. So how is it described? Batman needs a break, but with new vigilante Duke Thomas moving into Wayne Manor, and with an endless supply of bad kids,
Right.
children to manage, Bruce Wayne is going to have his hands full. Being a father can't be harder than being Batman, right?
Right.
Well, we read the first and second volumes. So we're going to go over the first volume first quickly. The first volume, I actually loved the first volume. It was so much fun. It was so lighthearted. You got to see all of the Bat Kids that you've heard about, read about, or seen in
Right.
series or in movies.
Right.
And they had a style of their own, even though you had these 6 different artists. And sometimes it changed. There really was a distinct style and look to the characters
Right.
in this webtoon and in this graphic novel series.
Right. And it is exactly what it says is Little Wayne Family Adventures. They don't really go into these high stakes, long arcs. They're really episodic. They're only maybe a few minutes long if you watch them on Webtoons or see a live dubbing of it like a motion comic, or if you're reading it in the physical form. They're really not long chapters or episodes, and they're mostly fun. They have little funny little setups and payoffs at the end where it's just, okay, those silly bad people. And majority of the time, for the first volume, they do keep in line with the characters. You know they can't go aggressively hard with their action and everything because it's meant to be pretty much safe for everyone to read, and they succeed with that. And I do like that everyone was still in character but put in a more family friendly light without destroying the characters.
Definitely. And in this first volume, it sticks to that 100%.
Right.
You have Duke come in, and I love how he's welcomed by all the other kids, and he just seamlessly fits in because they do everything to make him feel welcome, to make him feel like he's being a part of the family, to make him feel like, hey, this is how it goes, and you're one of us, and they're just happy to have him. And I love that. They didn't have the angst, they didn't have the you don't fit in, they didn't have the you gotta prove you're one of us and all that garbage you've seen in a lot of other books.
Right.
It wasn't like that. It was wholesome.
Right.
And sweet and fun. And sometimes that's just what you want to read. And we really haven't had a Batman series that's been like that.
Right.
And I think so many people have wanted this for many years, seeing him with all his kids and just having a loving family. In here, they kind of toned him down. Of course, he's not a real serious Batman.
And then the Batman.
He's Bat Dad. And he wants to be liked, and he wants to be popular. And he shows that he loves every single one of them.
Right.
And he really makes Duke feel welcome as well. Who did get downgraded a little, we were kind of surprised, was Alfred. But it wasn't in the first book. In the first book, you know, he's Alfred Mom. And
pretty much.
He's Bat Dad. And it works. In the first book, it absolutely works.
Right. And you had just a lot of fun reading about these characters. Not everyone was in every single chapter,
Right.
but you enjoy the screen time they had and then playing off each other and kind of having their own way of canonically addressing some little fan headcanons people had about how they interact with each other when they're not fighting crime. And I think that paid off well.
And you can definitely tell that it was anime inspired because they made sure that all the characters were attractive, and then the older ones like Nightwing, Dick Grayson
Right.
and Jason were hot. They did it on purpose. It was absolutely on purpose. You could tell they wanted a particular group of people to read it. But what comes across is the fun and how everyone gets along, and it's not perfect. You're not thinking about going, okay, so it's just perfect and nothing wrong.
Right.
They have a few little things happen, but you see how they work out their differences amongst themselves. They're not running to Bruce all the time. They've learned how to cooperate and interact with each other, respect each other, and give each other space, never, especially when they're dating, which is really fun, because it's almost like you're watching maybe a DC version of the Brady Bunch, honestly.
Yeah. The Batman
Bunch.
Bunch.
The other one you like?
I got the Batman Bunch, or Christopher Jones does that a lot.
That you like when they have all
Cheaper,
the kids?
Cheaper by the Dozen.
Thank you. Cheaper by the Dozen is like that.
Yes.
So the first volume is absolutely fantastic. I definitely recommend you read it. You will absolutely love it. Then we get to Batman Wayne Family Adventures Volume 2. Problem is, it's not the same.
Yes.
This volume brought all the angst and seriousness and stuff you didn't want to see in this series into the mix.
Right. And I think that became at least a turn off for us. There might be some people that have been okay with it, but we weren't, because of what was introduced in the first book to not match the second book. They still had some lighthearted stuff, but they started bringing in more characters from the DC universe. They started bringing in Superman, Justice League, their sidekicks, Superman's parents hanging out with Alfred. I guess the parents talking about their kids they take care of, and I guess that one was done a little well. The Bat family pets, the super pets, started having chapters, and I didn't even know what they were doing with that. Duke went out with a girl, he finally asked her out, and then got dumped the very next episode, which made no sense.
When it first happened, because it was really sweet the way they did it. And it's like someone said, "Oh no, can't have that. We gotta wish it," and then they turned around and ruined it.
Yeah, and that's not the only one that happened with. There are several chapters in here where bad things happen to these characters, and it's so strange that it happened so quickly. Like, they had a running gag with Jason Todd, which I didn't find all that funny, but they kept it in where the joke is that, Jason died, and he came back, and he died and came back. Isn't that funny? It was kind of like, wasn't funny in the first one, but you're like, okay, we'll let it slide.
And then later on, they decided to give him PTSD in the same volume.
And it was taken seriously.
What happened to all the lightheartedness and fun that was in the first volume?
Exactly. Then Cassandra Cain had where she was still holding on to the past when her father trained her to be an assassin, and she was still trying to let the past go, when she had this whole heart-to-heart, build herself back up thing with Barbara, which made no sense because she didn't have this the first book. Damian can't function around other people
suddenly,
and it's like, and this is also because, according to DC, in the last graphic novel in charge of Damian, they didn't like Damian was basically a child assassin trained by Ra's al Ghul, and he was bad-mouthing Batman, talking back, being disrespectful, being a punk or a jerk. So they toned him down and lined it up so where he didn't seem like a disrespectful brat. And in here, he's toned down so much, he needs to keep calling and asking them how to make friends and give advice, when before, he wouldn't give a dang about that. He would mind his own business and keep going. He was too cool for that.
And what was really weird is in the first volume, he still had the edge.
Yeah.
He was getting along with them, but he still had that edge
exactly.
that you liked. And it was a perfect balance. But all of a sudden, you get to volume 2, and it's like,
what happened?
What's going on here?
Right.
What happened?
And then the final one would be how the family members now act with each other. They're still on friendly terms. They still hang out. You have the little big bro, little bro, big sis, little sis dynamic still out in there. But then they start focusing on more dating stuff and Tim stuff, which of course nothing was going to happen with him. They let him stay happy, but Duke got dumped in one chapter. And then the last one would be they started portraying more of the male members as incompetent.
Yeah.
And the worst one that they thought was hilarious, but it really wasn't, was that Batman, Duke, Damien, Dick, Jason, none of the guys knew how to tie a tie. Only Alfred did. And when they called the Justice League, none of the male Justice League members knew how to tie a tie. Only Wonder Woman and Alfred knew how to tie a tie.
And
Alfred
it's like had left for the day or
yeah,
two.
and they were so frazzled they couldn't do it. No matter what cool guy they called, none of them knew how to tie a tie themselves. One woman told them how to do it. When it's like the easy solution is to go online and watch a YouTube video.
And I think, unfortunately, this casts a negative light because once you learn that all women wrote it, that means this was deliberately done.
Yeah.
And you don't understand why they would take that approach when the first book was so fantastic.
Right.
It's like you're reading two different series. And that's unfortunate because, again, I love the first one. I couldn't wait to get to the second one, and then I was totally disappointed in the second one. And you can also see that the style
and the mood,
the style of the characters, the look of them has changed.
Yeah.
With 6 different people, maybe it rotates, I'm not sure, but you can tell there was a difference between volume 1 and volume 2.
It's almost like they were trying to be Bluey in a way, but they're trying to have the more serious subject matters, but handle in a lighthearted way, but it doesn't work here because you already finished completing the first book where you handled it well, but now we gotta address all of the traumatic parts of the Bat family and give everyone a therapy session so the ones who have these things in real life are relating to this, but it's like, but they already were getting the therapy from the first one where it was just wholesome.
Absolutely. So the problem for 2 is there's a huge downgrade. Will I read or choose to read any more of the volumes? I'm not sure. Got them from the library, so didn't pay for them. I would have been happy to pay
Yeah, they
for
actually
one
had them there.
and not happy to pay for 2. But we'll see. If they're there, maybe I'll go ahead and dive back in and give number 3 another try.
Right.
Because they have 1 strike with number 2. So maybe I'll read 1 or 2 more and give them a fair chance.
Right.
I'm not sure. But if you read the Wayne Family Adventures graphic novels, let us know in the comments below. If you watched the Webtoon, let us know as well.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, it's available in any public library. You can also buy them on Amazon. They're not cheap, so I recommend just borrowing them. And you can also find them on Goodreads.
Yes.
If you have a Goodreads account, they are on there to read.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell on upcoming reviews, hacks, videos, and much, much more.
And feel free to share because it really helps my channel a lot. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to give it a like. And thank you so much, Rascal, for joining us again.
Yeah.
If you haven't visited her channel, you're missing out. She almost has she has over 1,000 videos.
Yes.
All different types. You're going to love her channel. Head over there, check it out, and show her some love in her comments.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us again.
Oh, I had
really
fun.
Enjoy having you guys join us and sharing things that we love on my SOFHAB channel. Don't forget to check us out on our Pause Animation channel where new videos come out every Saturday at midnight. We also have Monday clips. We have Pause on Netflix on Fridays. And we're recently obsessed with JJK and Disney Wish concept art videos. So check us out there as well.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal.
I'm Julie.
Have a fantastic day.
Continue to be happy, healthy, whole, and also wonderful. See you next time.
I'm getting pretty good at this planning stuff.
You know what might help that plan? If you weren't so bright.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, you meant...
Shiny, glowing, way too much light. Turn it down, turn it down.
Oh. Better?
Much.